Today we're going to make incredible amounts of progress. And one of the reasons for that is because I've had a couple days where I didn't really feel like recording, so I just wanted to hang out and play. And that's just what I did. And I gotta say, I am quite pleased with the results here. Let's have a closer look at this. Let's start over here. I'd made this, well, this is where it all started. I wanted to make a little tower, which turned out not as little as I had planned, but it's quite okay. I made this little tower thing here that I'm quite pleased with, and I wanted to connect it to where we're going to make all of our research stuff and where we're going to have a lot of base related things for the larger stuff. So you see here, it actually looks a little bit better from afar. This entrance, I'm very happy with this. Let's see, if I come in like so, we're going to almost duplicate this over here with another tower and another entrance. These pillars here are kind of like holding it up, and inside of here, I made a little bit of a water feature. We're going to lush this up all the way, and I'm planning to make a lot of tiny builds in all along this. This kind of goes like a horseshoe. So I made this little to-do board. Research facility cave, that is here. We need to make a couple stone farms. We need to make a basalt farm. We need to make an obsidian farm. And we need to make endostasis networks. Now, the endostasis networks are going to be a little bit tricky because I'm not quite sure how it will be affected by unloaded chunks, but I'm going to test that and we'll see how large we're going to make it. But we have a couple tiny builds in here. This one is not really anything yet. It's kind of empty. Maybe I'll place some villagers in here. Maybe I'll place some research stuff. Just have them staying around in the area. This is going to be the room for our super smelter. It's going to go in the back here. And I'm thinking I'll route the input and output to this room right here, so you don't have to go in the back and bother with all of the stuff. And then here we have the Lavification Obsidian Destroyificator 2000. This is currently where I have a tiny little lava farm. It's not nearly large enough to produce enough for an obsidian farm yet, but it's doing a little bit. So the way this works is I get in a minecart, and then I put on my auto clicky, and then I sit here and I look at this block right there, just a little bit below, because then I can harvest from this cauldron right there and this cauldron right here. So I cover 2 in 1, which is very nice. And then you have this little trigger right here. This is this. Oh, by the way, trigger. CH toggle. There we go. It sometimes messes up my recording stuff and things. Yes. What was I talking about? I was talking about this. The, what's this called? Detector rail, that's what it's called. Yes. I know what I'm doing, I swear. So this detector rail right here, and this one, are connected to a redstone circuit that goes all the way down to this place right here. It's the orange line that comes from there, and this triggers this little boy right there. And what that does is that it allows this clock right here. I can turn this on, and then you see that it goes ticky 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 tick. Yeah. So it switches from one circuit to the other. Let's see. We can do like so maybe. Yeah. Oh, here. So I have 2 circuits here. I have one that goes in the back for that one and that one and that one, which are droppers that are dropping all of the buckets from the hoppers down into this water stream and up into a storage system. Now the other line here, the white line, are from these guys, and they are connected to these boys. Or actually, I think it's the other way around, isn't it? I think it's the other way around, yes. So the one I made over there, the orange line, is doing so that these guys spit out buckets for me. And then when I loop around here, I pick up the buckets, and then I switch this so that whatever I don't pick up is being shot out into a water stream down there, and then it's placed over in this chest right there. And then I have a loader system, of course, and stuff and things like that. And then any kind of full lava cauldron, I will scoop up a bucket, and I will sit here with a full inventory. So then I will just yeet that bucket right into this stream, which picks it up right there, and then puts it into this chest system. So the plan is to have a obsidian farm here where the lava bucket is kind of spit out and actually placed in front of a waterlogged stair, and that way you can just stand here and you can mine the obsidian as it is made. Now, to do that you need a lot of obsidian, of course, because this is just 56, so I don't even get a stack from a double chest of lava. So yeah, we're gonna need to expand this quite a lot. There's not that much space around here, so I may have to go downwards, but I'm still thinking on that, how I want to do it. If you have any good suggestions on this though, do write it down in the description. I will read it, and also maybe show up on stream. We might do it there, because this is going to be a lot of digging, a lot of chatting, and a lot of me being frustrated about rails and water and redstone. So further in here, this is where I placed my beacon, we have also made this little water pool. Now this is, well, none of this actually, none of this is natural. I have dug all of these bits out myself and made it the way I'd like it. But this thing right here, this is going to be kind of one of the main things for our research station. So I'm planning to dig this even further down, and then we're going to make a glass dome, basically, and we're going to put the entire research facility inside of that dome, and you'll be able to see it from here. It's going to be really cool. Now, because I'm placing my storage system over here, I'm not quite sure where I'm going to route that massive cable that I want to have all the way down to the ocean. That's basically going to be pumping all of the water up here from down there, but we'll see how I make that. We'll see. Now, over here is where the storage facility is going to be. I still have a lot of digging to do here. It's going to be quite a lot. You see this area here? I'm going to have to dig that all the way down there and all the way up there. It's a lot of bits. But I am going to need all of this because I realize I cannot go any further without having a proper storage room. I have so much stuff laying around in shulkers, and this is going to need a lot of space, storage space, and shulker space, and everything. I want to put a shulker loader in there as well, or well, unloader rather. I'm not going to put a shulker loader in there. I won't do that because I didn't quite think about that when I modified the thing, but I'm going to get to digging. You're not going to get to see any of that, but then it will be done. And one full Unbreaking 3 netherite pick later, where is this half? Is this half-ish? Something like that. I'm gonna need to go and repair this, and also I think we're going to need more shulkers because I've already started on these guys. These guys are just absolute. Oh, I have one that I haven't filled yet. I should do that. But yeah, I am going to need to pop on over to our little emerald machine over here because I need so much experience for this. And so the last bits should have been dug. I think I'm going to grind out most of the build before putting anything on camera, because this is going to be very, very, very frustrating to make, because it's a multiple block filter type deal. So it's a lot of dropper lines, there's a lot of hopper lines, there's a lot of observers and rails and just redstone nastiness. I don't like this build at all, but yeah, I think I'm just gonna get to it. So here it is in all its glory. Finally, it actually works now. It's almost midnight. I'm tired. I hate redstone. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I made a couple mistakes, and that of course came back to bite me in the butt. Like this one, for example. I forgot to add this powered rail, and it bugged the heck out of me. I also managed to, down here, this guy, I managed to flick one of these note blocks, so this was inverted, and that confused the crap out of me. And then also, up here, up here, I had forgotten to add all of those powered rails. So this entire section was just borking. I had not a very nice time with that, but I figured it out, so it works. So the way this does work now is that we have an input chest downstairs that's connected to the redstone block down there that I had inverted. So when I have the on switch off, there's not going to be any items flowing through this line up here. But if I turn it on, all of the items will come through here into this chest, and then they will flow down into the system itself. Now, the system is a multi-block filter system, which means that in every chest we have blocker blocks, and we have the blocks that we want to pass through. So I have a couple here just to test, basically. I have one for stone, I have one for granite, and I had some dark oak saplings, so I have one for diorite and dark oak saplings. Which means that both of these blocks are now going to flow through to the same section. So I have all of these guys filled up with blockers, and we have the filter in here so that it only pulls through what it's supposed to. And let's see, ow. We have decorated it a little bit. So we now have this overflow here, so if there's too many items in it, all of the rest will go into here. And we have our input chest right there. There is a shulker unloader in here, which means that if I put in a full shulker, it will start pulling the items out of it, put them up to the first slice, and then the items will go through the system, and then the shulkers themselves will be put into this line right here. So if we now take all of these guys right here, which should be full of stone, I believe. Yes, all of them are full of only stone, which means that the stone should flow through right into here, and the shulkers should come out in the other end. So if I now flick this off, then it will pick up the shulkers. The shulkers will go into the unloader, and the items will start to flow. And in a little bit here, we're going to see, there we go, stone flowing through. It's going to be quite a while though until the shulkers come through here, because they will have to go all the way around, and all of the shulkers are, you know, literally full of stone, because hey, the hole was dug, the bits were out, and now we have all of this in here that we're going to have to do something about. I completely forgot about this. I was going to make this kind of blocked off so that we can open up this and have a well in the middle, because I thought that might be a little nice, considering that we're out going with the whole marine research theme here. I also have a bunch of glowberries growing from the trees. None of them have any actual berries on them at the moment. I have used shears on them. If you use shears on some glowberries, you see in the right side, if you can see the targeted block, then you have cave vines, and then you have the age. Now for both kelp and for glowberries, you have the age of 25. That's the max. So if you grab a piece of glowberry and you start growing it, it will get a random age. And from that number and up to 25, that's how far it's going to grow. It's the same with kelp. We used to have to, swim around and plant all of them. Ooh, that's the wrong button. There we go. We had to swim around and plant them and then break them again and plant them again until we had a age number that we were satisfied with, so it didn't just grow all out of control. And yeah, it's a thing now, so I'm very glad that we can use the shears on these. Twisted actually told me about that. I wasn't aware. So that's very, very nice. I am going to get started on setting up some filters here because I want to get rid of all of my shulkers and I want to move everything from the other storage chest monster over here, and I want to just plop everything into that input chest so that we actually get started on using this thing, because this is going to be absolutely glorious. There are a few flaws in the system, though. It handles lots of items very poorly, unfortunately. So when I'm giving it several shulker boxes in the input system, it kind of starts backing up into these droppers, and the items don't come back out. And that's because of this little pulse system right here. So when all of the items come down into here, it creates pulses, and it only pulses the amount of times that there are items. So the amount of items reflect how many pulses there are. Now, let me just go quickly back up and I'll explain what happens back there. Now the items are kind of sent up this dropper chain, and once they come up here, they go into this buffer chest. Now when you have a lot of items and this chest fills up, it starts backing up into the system. And once the system is backed up, then the items have nowhere to go, because there is nothing up here that will send these items that missed their pulse to get sent into here, because this has to get a pulse, this dropper right here. If this doesn't get a pulse, then it's not sending anything. So once this is backed up, you kind of have to go back into here and you have to move the items yourself, and it's a little bit of a pain. So lots of items, it's not very good at dealing with that. I may change that. I might just build this chain up a little bit further and add a couple more chests, but yeah, for now at least, it's not very good at handling that. And speaking of transporting chain, when you're down here in the main area where you actually input your items, when you unload this area while it's working, some things may break because of hoppers and timers and all of that. That's magical stuff and things as Redstone. So almost every time I find myself wondering, are my items processed yet? Can I go do other stuff yet? So there's no way to tell from down here, which is why I added this. I added this little redstone lamp that blinks every time an item goes out of the item transporting buffer. The chest I showed you upstairs, it's looking directly at the hopper output. So once this lamp stops blinking, I know that all of my items have been processed and are out of the buffer, so I can start thinking about going somewhere else. It's kind of useful because, you don't want to stand here and wait all day, and yeah, it's a thing. I also added this little burner because I need a trash can, because I have so much junk so often, and I just want to get rid of any junk items I may have laying around, like raw cold. This is just a chest that is pointing into a hopper. or well, there is a hopper pointing into this, and the hopper is going into a dispenser, and the dispenser has a clock on it, and then it just yeets it into lava. So it's pretty straightforward. Now, we did have a stream the other day where we finished up this tower right here. So we now have 2 towers with every entrance. So we have a little bit of lag. There we go, that's better. So we now have this tower right there. We have a slightly larger one right there. And now I'm thinking that we should get started on this entrance over here, because I kind of want to do the same thing as I did over there with like the deep slate pillars and holding this entrance up. So let's get to it. Now 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and oh, come on. That is annoying. There we go. 7. Bloop, like so. And then we do 1 like so. And then we just do like that. So this is where our pillars are going to be. We're going to have polished deep slate at the bottom. We're going to have that all the way around, I think. And then we're going to place some stairs on top of it. I don't have any stairs. We should also go sleep, because there's so many creepers spawning in this area. It's absolutely insane. So then we're just going to place these guys on top of that. Then we're going to grab some walls. Oops, not there. And do like this, this, and this. I'm going to do the same over here. We're going to do like this, I think. We're going to taper this off so that it looks a little bit better, but it's still going to be quite, yeah, like that. Stair, 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 and stair, and wall, and wall. That should go there, like so, and then like so. Get a stair and get a stair, and that should basically be it. So the only thing we need to do now is kind of mark out this deep slate line and just build some terrain on top of it. with the platform built and the deep slate line marked out, all that's left to do is pretty much just prettifying this, which is something that I will likely do on stream together with you guys. I'm pretty happy with the progress we made today, and I can't stress enough how good it feels to have a functional storage system completed. And if you made it all the way here and you like this kind of content, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on new content that's coming. And if you haven't already done so, perhaps go back and check out the 100 Days of Zombie Apocalypse, yes, the Zombie Apocalypse survival series I did a while back. I've been Jack, and that's it for now. Bye-bye.